Row 1, Jamie Whitcup as the all clear is shown from Shane Van Gisbergen, Anton Di Pasquale and Will Brown. The final Supercar Sprint race of the year ignites at Sydney Motorsport Park. An absolutely perfect start by both the Red Bulls. But Whitcup takes the ascendancy. He's gone into position 1. Will Brown drops into 3. Van Gisbergen's in position number 2. And Anton back in 4th place on the run down towards the hairpin.
Whitcup had a bobble. He actually moved and he had to stop, so he almost jumped the start. Lucky he was a little bit further back in that grid box because he would have been over the white line. Nice job in the end. He got it away very well.
But the drag race between the two of them was so even. I watched them out the combox window. There was nothing in it. And look at the congestion back here in the pack between turns 3 and 4. Scott Pye on the outside of Jack LeBrock.
Oh, here we go.
Did he get away with it, Mark Winterbottom? Only just, and they're 3 wide at turn 5, and on the inside then was Todd Hazelwood. There's some damage on the back of Frosty's car. He's got a tyre being rubbed by the rear bumper. It's been caved in the left rear corner of that car. And in fact, he's trying to sneak up on the inside of his teammate, Scott Pye. Back to our leaders. 0.4 of a second, the gap between Whitcup and Van Gisbergen. Oh, big moment here for Zane. He dropped it off the right-hand side of turn 7, motocrossed through that bump, caught it and got back on.
That is the save of the weekend by a mile. Have a look at the amount of tyre smoke coming. I have to bring this car in. That left-hand rear corner's dragging on the left-hand rear tyre very badly. Family weekend.
Yeah, family weekend. Look at that. And Craig Baird and I went round the track early in the week, and there was a massive whoop-de-doo out there if you went far enough wide, and that's exactly what's happened there. And now Mark Winterbottom and the replay off the start with the way in which it's caved in under that left rear apron, but somehow, as you said, divine intervention, it's righted itself. 7 left-hand turns on this racetrack. Oh, he might actually go on with this, Brody.
So might have went early.
I might have just called that a fraction quick. So Brody's good at being able to fight back nicely. Now Nick's got the inside running for the left-hander down here at turn 6. Brody gives him plenty of space, and Nick's just trying to make that tight for him. Not a great idea.
Not their best rubber, and they're going to hang out there. This is going to be great.
Oh, and that was a touch-up, and it's sent Gary Jacobson, Bryce forward, thanks Larko, and Jake Kostecki's getting the same sort of treatment from Tim Slade that rotates him. So that's no good. Car 7's got a bad sportsmanship flag as well, exceeding track limits.
This is a little bump there with Jacobson and Mark Winterbottom, and that was probably a little bit heavy actually. And as Courtney tried to capitalise on them flicking to the left, he did the change of direction and fired back down the inside. So this is now with Gary. He's already got a witness mark from someone's tyre there. So that's a bump, then flicked sideways, and then on the other side emerged James Courtney. So the 2 local Sydney-siders caught up there with Jacobson. In the middle of all that, Tim Slade whistles by on the inside into 4.
Meantime, Tim Slade's copped a 15-second penalty. Now, I've got a bunch of cars in here. Brody Kostecki, Jack LeBrock, Mark Winterbottom, Gary Jacobson, Jack Smith. And replay shows Scott running, Todd running wide down there over the top of the tunnel on the exit at turn 3. Here's what happened down at turn 2. So, okay, so it was Scott departing the pit lane and Gary on the outside of him. And they've locked horns down there, and that's resulted in Jacobson just running wide. Now, it's a 5-second time penalty also being added to Luke Gilden's time for exceeding track limits. That's happened very early in the piece. Whitcup in.
Mate, you're going to be good to go. Get ready. Go.
Here we go. Down the inside comes Shane. Tyre advantage here. They both play nicely. Click, 1 spot done for Shane Van Gisbergen. So that brings him up into 5th.
That was clever by Anton because he gave that away. He could have fired into turn 5 on the inside, but it's not worth it because it actually hurts both your pace.
Got another one.
It's a double header. So Whitcup also got Mostert.
See what he does here at 8. He holds it up higher for the turn in. Tries for the cross. He's underneath him. They're touching. There's supposed to be a no-touch rule here.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
All good, mate. All good. Eyes forward. We've got to catch ground.
So he's got into the rear bumper that time of Jamie and immediately jumped on the radio and went, whoops. We knew what he was trying to do. He was looking for the under-over. There's our Pertec pit stop times, and that reconfirms what I thought, that the Will Brown stop was a ripper. So now Shane tries to size it up down the inside. I think Jamie's going to let him fly. Or no, does he? The sign's masking the story. No, all it was Jamie covering.
Exactly. So everyone in the bunker, Mark Dutton and David Couchy and Wes McDougall are all saying, let's get on with it, eyes forward, let's catch Brown. But these guys are caught up in a battle, and down the inside again he goes. And he's on the wrong side now, Van Gisbergen.
That's another touch. So this is just starting to get it. Oh, and he's off the road. This is starting to get silly. And I can guarantee you that Roland Dane will be texting from Queensland into that bunker. He will not be happy seeing these two guys doing this at the moment.
Well, they're slowing each other up. He's running right off the road this time.
This is going to end up in tears if it continues.
He's going to hang. He's hanging wide. Yep, he's
getting run off the track.
So there is real animosity between those two right now. That is not fake. That is authentic.
So this is not going to play well in debrief. There will be a discussion about this, and they have just let Will Brown off the hook.
He's got a better chance of catching Brown. Let's work together to catch Brown, please.
Now that's Mark Dutton on the radio saying let Shane through. He's got a better chance of catching Will Brown. And he has been threatening to get a result. It might be on right now. Mostert in the foreground, Di Pasquale behind him, and then round the outside is Todd Hazelwood. 1 second now is the margin with 5 laps remaining. Will Brown and Jamie Whincup, the margin is tightening up. Hazelwood, does he get by? That's an awkward spot to do it, but he actually pulled it off. Well done, Todd.
Nice job. So he's up 6 positions now, Hazelwood. How close is this now?
They've caught him. So they're right there. 4 laps remaining. And they're on him, and they're nose to tail. They're all starting to rattle each other. Will drives around the inside. Shane takes the high line. He'll get a better corner exit here. He'll be a threat to Whincup at the other end of the straight. He gets up the inside here. This could be a change for second position. And Van Gisbergen's going to go side by side with Whincup. Hold your breath when you get to turn 1. Will Brown's got command at the moment, just. And Whincup hangs on. What a battle. It's going to be 1 lap to go. What a moment for this young bloke. He might topple a couple of the biggest names in the sport here. Into turn 1 for the final time. He's got about 3 car lengths in hand. 215 kilometres an hour. Accelerates it back to 235. Grabs the brakes for the last time into turn 2. Feeds it second gear. Runs it round tight, doesn't want to get too high up in the corner. Out the other side, short shifted to third. He's opening the margin. Slide and glide through turn 3, over the top of the hill, 4th gear, down the other side. He continues to make margin, Mark.
That's a beautiful job in the first part of the lap there, Will Brown. But it's here where he hurts. He hurts over the top at Corporate Hill and coming out of turn 8. The last thing he's got to cover is the run into turn 8. He's at turn 6. Maximise the mid-corner speed here, minimise the wheel spin, get it up and over the top of the hill and get around turn 8. If he gets out of turn 8 clean, he'll win this motor race. He's only 23 years of age. This is a ripper story.
Absolutely locked together for the final time at the hairpin. Brown,
beautiful,
beautiful. He's managed to pull off some magic there. He's been able to get off that corner without sliding it. Now there's basically 1 corner sequence to go. He hops it up over the top of the curb. The rain begins to sprinkle at Sydney Motorsport Park. There's a whole bunch of things conspiring to take this away from him, but he is holding on. Out of the final corner for the last time.
Yes.
And a run down the front straight. And this is a mega moment for Will Brown. Congratulations. First ever supercar victory.
How good is that?
Can I do donuts, Tommy? Can I do donuts?
It's broken Barry Ryan.
You know what the hell you want?
He's asking if he can do donuts. I think he can do whatever he wants. That is a great story. And he got home, Scafey, by 0.2 of a second. Will Brown wins his first ever supercar race. They cleaned up their pit stops. Their stop was magical. And he's driven like an absolute champion.
How good is that? He's come through all of the pathway programs and junior categories. He's dominated all of those. He's made it in, and he's become the 82nd driver in the history as Shane Van Gisbergen goes up to congratulate him. The respect is enormous. Shane drives up. Well done, mate. Great job. The 82nd driver in Australian Touring Car Championship and Supercars history to win a race. And you can see there, thumbs up from SVG as this young bloke has been absolutely tremendous today.
Wonderful thing to see. In 2016, he was the Australian Formula 4 champion. In 2016, he was also the Toyota 86 Racing Series champion. In 2016, he was Formula Ford runner-up. That gives you an idea of the pedigree in one season alone. And then in 2019, he was TCR champion. He was runner-up last year in Dunlop Super 2. And that's David Cauchi, engineer at the Red Bull Ampol Racing team. And now, today, in a stunning drive under huge pressure, on the 14th of November 2021, Will Brown wins his first ever supercar race at just 23 years of age. And he is absolutely torturing those rear tyres, and well he should.
Life-changing day for this young man.
Some heavy emotion in that discussion to come. How's that weather in the background? Let's check out the results for you at the end of a fascinating race. Will Brown gets up by 0.28 of a second from Jamie Whincup and Shane Van Gisbergen in one of the great squabbles in our category. Followed by Nick Percat, Todd Hazelwood, all noteworthy drives. Scott Pye, brilliant performance. And then Cam Waters looking further afield. Chaz Mostert, Anton Di Pasquale and Jack LeBrock in the top 10. Just outside was Brody Kostecki, who's contributed to Will's performance today. And then we've got Will Davison, James Courtney, Bryce Fullwood, Macaulay Jones, Jake Kostecki, Zane Goddard and Gary Jacobson.